Continuing in Iowa, Paul closes in within 1 point of frontrunner Gingrich. In some polls, he is actually above him or tied with him. Gingrich's favorable rating has declined 19 points among Iowans since last week because they actually found out who he is. See, knowledge is power. Oh, by the way, Newt Gingrich wants open borders again. Not because he's a touchy-feely guy. He's an absolute tyrant, but because he wants to drive down wages and implode this country. You don't lift poor countries up by lowering your standards. That's been proven through major economic studies. Of course, look at NAFTA and GATT. Al Gore said it was going to be great. Look what it's done to us. Was it great? Mexico's losing most of its jobs to China because China is the bottom, because the Chinese people are absolute slaves. They're good, hardworking people, and nobody's going to compete with them, folks. Nobody can. They'll dump pure toxic waste right in the river their own kids drink because the government says so. Well, we got more environmental regulations piled on us where our power plants can't even produce carbon dioxide plants breathe. No one is going to compete with China. It's the globalist plan. They got 1,100,000,000 people that nobody can compete with by the plan. People criticize China and say we should put tariffs on to make it fair and make them pay their people more. They say, oh, you're anti-Chinese. They play that game, ladies and gentlemen. They play that game with people, and everybody's like, oh, I'm polite, I'm not racist, okay, take my rights. All right, continuing here, in New Hampshire, Romney's still 33, Gingrich 22, Paul 18, if you believe that. And Paul agrees when he was on the show yesterday that a lot of these polls are cooked. Many other independent polls show Ron Paul's a front runner across the board. But let's look at who Newt Gingrich is himself. Not just supporting carbon taxes, open borders, not just supporting Obama socialist care, not just flip-flopping and all the other things he's done, not just calling for world government and into the family and into world borders, world government. Newt Gingrich has said in speeches and in discussions and has proposed, this is being reported on by Politico and a bunch of other politics, Huffington Post as well, quote, the death penalty for marijuana, for possession of marijuana above a certain quantity of marijuana, and yet he is among 100 million Americans who smoke marijuana, MSNBC also reported. Yeah, that's Gary Johnson, who we've interviewed, the former governor of New Mexico, Republican candidate, who's being completely ignored. And yeah, Newt Gingrich is for the total drug war. He's not stupid. He knows the government ships most of it in. He wants to kill you if you smoke marijuana. I mean, that is kooky. That is crazy. That is dangerous. And he calls Ron Paul a kook. I've seen him on the TV for being for the decriminalization. So you don't end up going to jail or having to pay thousands of dollars because at some illegal checkpoint they found some marijuana you have that George Washington smoked. Again, this is the crud. Remember, he wants to kill you if you smoke marijuana. You can't make that up. And then he's an admitted pot smoker in the past. I mean, that just shows you how unbelievably wicked Newt Gingrich is. Now, I have covered Newt and